does it mean to you?
Well, it's wonderful. It doesn't seem like, it would be that old. And for the people that we've had in here all along since we came, we've just been overjoyed with them.
It's been a blessing to know that we served a good many of those years. I didn't serve 150 years with the church, but we was in there quite a while.
I first came to First Baptist Church when I was about 3 years old. My mother came and brought us 3 girls, and I remember hiding behind her skirt because I would not go into the 3-year-old Sunday school class because I was scared to death. I know you can't believe that I was bashful, but I was very bashful as a child growing up. And so Mother then had to go into the 3-year-old department with me. First Baptist has always loved children. They've always had Vacation Bible School, they've had Girls Auxiliary, they've had Royal Ambassadors, Mission Friends. They took kids to Super Summer, they took them on mission trips. We had children's choir, we had youth choir, you name it. First Baptist Church has always had a heart for children. And so that's why we came here as a young family.
Jim was already in Macon. He came in '59 and opened his business. And so then he came back for me in '62. And so we got married and settled in Macon. Been there ever since, 50-some years. He's been dry cleaning.
I've been there 56 years.
56 years in the same spot, dry cleaning. The lady that we had an apartment with, we lived in the same house, went to First Baptist Church.
Roma Bradshaw's mother.
Roma Bradshaw's mother.
He was
and she's a lovely lady. She went to First Baptist, so she wanted us to come, and we did. And we enjoyed it and met people, and our pastor was V.B. Skinner, and he'd been here for years. We stayed here a little while, and then when we realized that they had a mission going, and First had a mission, so we wanted to be in on that, and we thought that would be a good thing, so we went to Calvary and stayed there until they became a church. Then we came back.
But during my high school days, we came here also, and we attended just like I had for many, many years. At that time, Mom began teaching down at the mission. And so Karen and I would come here, and then Mom would pick us up afterwards. Well, as that mission grew and more kids began coming, she said, "Why don't you girls come down there with me?" And so we did. We went down to try to encourage the other teenagers that were going there. But then at night, we would come back up here because they didn't have services at the mission on Sunday night, and the youth choir would sing, and then all the parents and all the kids would gather downstairs. We'd have Cokes and cookies. We would practice the next Sunday night's choruses that we would be singing, and so that was another part of us growing up here in First Baptist Church. First Baptist Church was where we were married, as well as our 3 daughters, and 4 of our 6 grandkids were baptized here. And during, of course, all those times, the church ministered to us. They gave us gifts. They gave us wedding gifts, baby gifts, brought us meals. And especially when my dad got killed down at the mine, this church ministered to us in marvelous ways. One of the things that happened during that time was at his funeral, the Legacy Chapel was filled with miners who had never heard the gospel. And Brother Ron Mosley preached that day the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ to them. The choir loft was even full, and all the aisles. And so those men heard the gospel that day. When Huey fell off the barn and broke his leg and was in a cast for 6 months, this church brought us meals, they gave us money, they helped us during that time when he could not work. So this church family has been a wonderful church family to us. One of the other things that First Baptist always had was 2 weeks revival. And those were always important parts of our life. We always would come most every night, and it was during one of these revivals that I walked the aisle with one of my friends. I shook the pastor's hand. I went to classes over at his house because his daughter was the same age as what I was. I was baptized, but was I saved? That question would haunt me for many years. As a child, I mean, all I did was walk down the aisle, shake the pastor's hand. He patted me on the head, and I went through a book. That was it. There was nothing about me being a sinner, me going, going to hell. Nothing about, what Jesus did for me on the cross. And I can remember at Centralia, I think that was where I got under conviction the most, because I was down there with my sister, and they were in revival meeting. These old revivals, they really pull on your heart.
That's the word.
And this man, I mean, he presented Jesus on the cross, crucified, dying, and I had never really been confronted with it like that before. And so I, went down in tears, and my sister's Sunday school teacher took me back in her room, but she knew I had been, she thought I'd been saved. And so she really didn't present the gospel to me or help me, pray and ask Jesus Christ to save me. And so, she was just giving me assurance of my salvation. And so once again, I went away thinking, well, okay, I'm all right, but I truly wasn't.
Right.
It just kept gnawing at you until you've got to get it right. And after you once realize, you've got to realize that you're a sinner. First Baptist Church has been a great place all these years. And I am glad that we are able to celebrate 150 years of ministry in Macon, Missouri.